Farewell Lou. Farrel Hegarty bids an emotional goodbye to Coronation Street, but is this really the end? As the credits prepare to roll on one of Coronation Street's most unpredictable characters in recent memory, actress Farrel Hegarty opens up exclusively to Inside Soap about the whirlwind journey of playing Lou, a woman who has provoked laughter, tears, and more than a few gasps from the viewers. It's been wild, Farrel laughs warmly, brushing a lock of hair behind her ear as she reflects on her rollercoaster of a storyline. But honestly, I think Lou's redeemable. She just needs to be taught a few lessons on the way. Farrel's final scenes as Lou are set to air next week, marking the end of an intense and dramatic chapter on the cobbles. But as fans brace themselves for her departure, many are left asking, what's next for Lou, and what lies ahead for the talented actress behind the troubled character? A tumultuous goodbye. Lou's exit promises to be as chaotic as her arrival. The final stretch of her story is filled with tension and heartbreak, as she finds herself trapped in a terrifying situation involving her volatile partner, Mick. In upcoming scenes, Mick spirals out of control, going on a disturbing rampage that not only puts others in danger but leaves Lou utterly helpless. With the police involved and Lou winding up in custody, viewers will be left with more questions than answers. What crime has Lou committed? Is she merely a victim of circumstance, or is she being pulled deeper into the mess of Mick's making? These are just some of the mysteries that will linger long after her final scenes. For Farrel, filming her farewell was nothing short of emotional. It was really sad, she shares. On your last day on set, they give you a little round of applause. It's a proper tradition on Corey. Julia Golding, who plays Shona, is one of my best mates, and she popped round the corner. You know when you see your mate and it just makes you upset? I saw her little face and I burst into tears. It's a moment that captures the spirit of camaraderie on one of the UK's most beloved soaps, and it's clear that Farrel has formed lasting bonds during her time on the show. Layers of Lou. Lou's character was never meant to be easy. From her first appearance, she was bold, brash, and far from conventional. She arrived on the scene as part of a combustible duo with Mick, their codependency, manipulative tendencies, and sheer unpredictability making them instant magnets for drama. Lou's got a lot of layers, Farrel explains. From the beginning, we saw she had a sense of humor, she's got a bit of sharp wit, but she's also probably not that likable. I wouldn't want to live next door to her. It's this complexity that made Lou such a fascinating presence on the cobbles. Viewers were never quite sure whether to root for her or recoil from her schemes. But as time went on, glimpses of vulnerability began to seep through, offering hints of a troubled past and a heart that had perhaps been hardened by survival. We saw later on that she's actually very vulnerable, says Farrel. There's a reason she is the way she is. People like Lou don't just become like that out of nowhere. There's hurt underneath. That depth is what allowed Farrel to embrace the role with gusto. I love characters who are messy, she continues. They're the most fun to play. You get to stretch yourself emotionally, but you also get those comedic moments too. And Lou definitely brought a bit of pain of Lou and Mick. Much of Lou's time on Coronation Street was defined by her fraught relationship with Mick. Together, they formed a toxic bond that was as gripping as it was unsettling. Their storyline explored themes of manipulation, control, and emotional trauma, peeling back the layers of a deeply dysfunctional dynamic. They were so dependent on each other, Farrel reflects. That's the thing, it wasn't just him controlling her or vice versa. They fed off each other in a really unhealthy way. But that's why it was so interesting to play. It felt very real, very grounded. Farrel says she would love to see Lou return to Corey in the future, but with a very different trajectory. If Lou ever came back, I'd want to see what she's capable of on her own, she smiles. Without Mick, he's been such a huge influence on her behavior. But I think there's a lot of fun and mischief in her. She could go on a proper rampage. Obviously, it wouldn't be straight-laced. She's not the type to just get a normal job at the bistro and settle down. Life after the cobbles. As for what's next, Farrel remains coy but optimistic. I don't know, she laughs. I think Coronation Street is such an amazing platform. It's opened a lot of doors for me. I've had a couple of auditions, so we'll see what comes out of it. You never know what's around the corner. Having joined the cast during a particularly dynamic period for the show, Farrel's performance didn't go unnoticed. Fans quickly picked up on her magnetic screen presence, and critics praised her ability to make even the most flawed character feel painfully human. It's been overwhelming, the response, Farrel says modestly. People have stopped me on the street to say they love to hate Lou, and I'll take that. If they're talking about her, it means she made an impression. Indeed, Lou's departure marks the end of an era for Coronation Street, one marked by unpredictability, complexity, and an undercurrent of emotional truth. While her future remains uncertain, the door has been left ajar for a possible return, and fans will no doubt be watching closely for signs of her comeback. I'll miss the madness. As the interview winds down, Farrel reflects on what she'll miss most about the show. Oh, the madness, she laughs. Honestly, the pace is wild. You're filming so much in such a short space of time, but it keeps you sharp. And then there's the team, makeup, wardrobe, the other cast members. They become like family. You go through so much together. She also reveals a few behind-the-scenes anecdotes, like the time she accidentally broke a prop mid-scene and had to keep going, or when she got completely soaked filming an outdoor sequence and had to pretend she wasn't freezing. There's a real sense of, the show must go on, she says. It's old school, in the best way. Proper telemaking. And while Lou may be checking out of Weatherfield, for now, Farrel's enthusiasm for storytelling remains undimmed. I just want to keep playing interesting women, she says. Characters who are a bit chaotic, a bit damaged, but ultimately, trying their best. That's what Lou was, really. A mess, but a lovable one in her own way. One last look. So, as we prepare to say goodbye to Lou, what should fans expect from her final scenes? They're dramatic, Farrel teases. But also emotional. You'll get some answers, but there's also room for more. I think it ends in a way that's satisfying, but it definitely leaves the door open. And that's all I'll say. And with that, Farrel Hegarty, the woman who brought one of Weatherfield's most chaotic souls to life, smiles one last time. I'll always be grateful to Coronation Street, she says. It's changed everything for me.